Hey y'all, welcome back to Her Brave Wings YouTube channel. And if you're new here,
Baby, welcome to the party.
I'm Mo, and I'm an American expat living abroad in Beijing, China. This channel is all about my truthful experiences living abroad. This episode is about some Q&As that I get often. If you like what you hear, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. And if you didn't hear what you wanted to hear, make sure you leave it in the comments so that I can continue making videos just like this one. I won't keep going with an intro. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Do not attempt to leave the dance floor.
Hold on. Ooh, that's cuter. Let's do this in the dark. I know that you all have a lot of questions. I'm going to answer 8 questions. I put them in a bowl. We're going to pick them randomly, okay? So, the first question, what is dating like in China? Ooh, yeah. Let's just get it all from the beginning. The first time I came to China, I did try to date. I dated one black Canadian man, and then I dated another black Canadian man. One of them was longer than the other for about 3 months, and the other was maybe 2 weeks. And then I started dating my ex, who was Chinese. And that is a story for another time, but I realized through dating black men in China that it was not for me because a lot of these be passport bros. They are over here for one thing. That's what dating's like. This time around, I'm not dating anybody. I'm not looking to date anybody. I don't want to date anybody. And anybody that wants to date me should stay far away from me. There are dating apps. There are Chinese dating apps. I think Bumble works here. I think Tinder works here. I don't think Hinge works here, though, if you're into the dating apps. I would recommend meeting someone naturally in a space that you both genuinely enjoy. I don't too much think about dating, but I do know that that is something that people ask me about. Also, after dating outside of my race for the first time, I learned a lot about myself. However, I don't know if that is the game for me. I'm not saying I'm against it, but I just don't know if it's for me. I don't like having to explain my culture. And also, I want for my partner, if they are going to be of a different race, ethnicity, culture, should love who they are and love their race, ethnicity, and culture. Take that how you will. Next, is it expensive or is it cheap to live here? I think that depends on your lifestyle. If you like lavish things, if you are more down to earth, there's definitely space for that. Food is cheap. My apartment is $5,200 a month. I top up my electricity. Paying bills here is not difficult. You just pay with your phone. A lot of your bills you will top up, so there is not a definite monthly bill. You use all of what you paid for previously, and then you put more money on it. And then you use it up until then. Living in Beijing is more expensive than it was in Shenzhen. The amount of money that I'm paying for this apartment is the same amount of money that I was paying for my last apartment, and it was much, much nicer. It was just like up to my standard, you know. This apartment does have more real amenities, whereas my previous apartment in Shenzhen It was more like restaurants and like play spaces for children downstairs rather than a gym, a grocery store, a pet store, a nail salon, a dentist, a clinic. You know, all of those things are right downstairs in this complex. In that sense, this is cheaper. Next. What's the weather like? Actually, we are on the same latitudinal. It's basically the same weather as Chicago, but it's way more windy. Way more windy. Chicago, you have Lake Michigan. Here, there isn't a large body of water. And although Beijing is big, it's not like skyscraper. It's more so like LA big and kind of flat rather than like New York big and built upwards. There are skyscrapers here though. It's not the same. It is dry as hell. I mean, I gotta get out of here. So dry. When I first got here, I was getting nosebleeds. Like what? I never get nosebleeds. I just watched these maybe like an hour ago. They are about 70% dry. Engine is humid AF, okay? It didn't matter if you put them inside or outside. I would go to work for about 8 hours, come back home, and those clothes were not dry because it is that humid. There's a joke amongst Guangzhou people. You can wash your clothes, and if you leave them outside, they'll be more wet than they were when you left because it's so humid. It's cold, it's dry, and it's windy, and there are no real natural disasters that happen here. Next. Not a question, but be safe. This is the safest I've ever felt in my life, and that is what drew me back to China. I've never felt so safe. There are cameras everywhere. There's cameras everywhere, and they work. And they don't play no games, okay? I don't mind that, though. I like that. I love feeling safe. I love knowing that, let me say this properly. I love that it is less likely for me to be a victim of senseless violence, in particular violence. I love that I don't have to worry about that. Next. How did you become a teacher over there? I get this question all the time. How did you become a teacher over there? Y'all, when I first came here, I just went on LinkedIn. I told myself that if I got the job, then I was going. So the first school that I worked for is called EF. It was okay. You know, it just wasn't for me. Because I know some people that have been working there for 7-10 years. And they absolutely loved it. But after I went home the second time, I had some resources already here, and I went through teachingnomad.com and I went through Teachaway. So I have been applying to jobs in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and here in mainland China. And I mean, the door was closing, y'all.
Buddy, Squidward, free cleaning service? Census taker. Good day, kind sir. Would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
Getting an interview? Nope. Getting an interview? Nope. But how did I do it? So step number 1, you need to have at least a 120-hour TEFL certificate. You can find this on TEFL.com. You can also go to International TEFL Academy, which I highly recommend. If I had more time and more money, I would have definitely went through them because they were so thorough. But I got this offer, and I liked the offer. It fit what I had, manifested for myself, what I wrote down. So I took this opportunity, but I really liked my experiences with International TEFL Academy. And they also have jobs and, I believe, study programs in different parts of the world, not just Asia. Again! You need your bachelor's degree. You need a 120-hour, at least, TEFL. You can have a QTS, PGCE. You can have lots of teaching certifications, They need to be accredited, though. Also, more than likely, you need to come from one of the English-speaking countries. And by English-speaking, meaning English is a native language in that country. That is one thing that they really do care about. Those are your criteria. If you want to know, comment I want to know. Last two. Why China? And why China again? I chose China the first time because I figured that anything that those people told me was a lie. They was La Olla.
La Olla, that's all, yeah.
Okay, let's be so for real. I chose China because I needed a break from everything that was going on at home. Everything. I needed a huge break. My heart was broken. My spirit was broken. That same year, somebody had stole my car. It was a lot going on, and I was just like, you know what? I just need some time away. I needed time away after COVID. I had just moved home from Atlanta. I was living with my dad. That didn't work out. Then I started living with my auntie in her basement. Thank God for her. Thank God for her. Auntie Patty, I love you so much, and I am so appreciative that God gave me you as an auntie, because it was hard. It was hard, and oh God, I needed a break. So I chose China for its culture. Chinese culture is so rich, and I wanted to explore that. I've always loved Asian food, and to be quite frank, China's the big one. Like, I really wanted to be somewhere where it was a lot of history, but I'm glad that I got to go to Shenzhen as my beginner city, because I needed that. I needed to like party and do the things and have fun, like that's what Shenzhen is to me. And now that I'm in Beijing, I feel it's a lot more calm. I'm a little older. I got my head on straight. I'm not really concerned with like all the rah-rahs and all that other stuff. And I came back because, like I said earlier, I never felt any kind of freedom like this. The very first video that I posted right here on YouTube, I think I left it crying. But like that entire week, I cried so much, but I had a very soulful cry in the shower. And it was like, I was crying not just for the difficulties of my experience, like getting over and turning on my phone and, just being in a new environment and not knowing what to do. I cried for my people. I cried for 400 plus years of enslavement of my people. I cried for that. I cried for being the one in my family to see this foreign land that I don't know how many people, how many mothers, how many aunties, how many uncles, fathers prayed for this type of freedom. I cried for all of that in the shower. I don't know what word to put to it, but it was all of that. And my entire first year while living here in Shenzhen, I experienced life in a completely different way. I feel like I adulted so well. I felt like I could afford my life. I could travel. I could create. I was making friends. I felt so full outside of, missing my friends back at home and obviously my family. I felt like my personal life was full. I hated my job though. Not teaching. I didn't like how they was running things up in there. But like I said, it wasn't for me, and that's okay. The position that I'm in now, and I like how they run things. It seems so much more smooth. I'm still in my probation period though, so hopefully in about 20 days I'll still have a job because I like it and I think I'm good at it. Why did I come back to China a second time? Well, I came back to China a second time because when I went back home, I was depressed. And not like a cute one either. My best friend passed away. I went through a breakup with my ex, and it ended terribly. And after that, I went back to substitute teaching, which I love substitute teaching at the junior high in my hometown. I love teaching at the junior high in my hometown because I see how the kids react to me, and it's fun watching them learn and grow as students and watching their little brains develop. It's like, wow, y'all really don't know anything. Teaching was fine for the most part, because I was just talking crap on my TikTok. I ain't gonna hold you. But I feel like as far as my career, this is not the best that I can do for myself. I need to be able to afford my life, and America is not an affordable living space. It's not. And also after being over here, feeling all that freedom and affordability liberation. That feeling, and then going back home and not having pretty much any of that was very difficult. So I fell into smoking. I was addicted to smoking. That wasn't good. And it really wasn't until I attended a fashion show in either August or September. I really can't remember, but it was in the fall. And I feel like that's when I finally woke up and got clean. I got sober. It was really difficult, but I knew that there was a life outside of that. I knew that there was so much more to life than what I was feeling back at home. Even though I was happy to be with my family and my friends, my family often told me, "We never see you." I didn't want to be outside, and I didn't want to be seen. It was comfortable, but I knew that even then, in my comfort, I could not grow. It just gave me so much perspective on life. And it was hard being back at home for me. It was really hard. Even my best friend's mom says that I look happier here. And I am happier here, though I really miss my family so much. But yeah, that's why I came back, because this was for me, and I needed, after not doing a lot of things for myself for a very long time, I think that it was time to choose me. Last question. Is the food good? Oh. Is the food good? The food is good. Is the food good? The food is good. I will say, if you have an issue with texture and you don't like chewy textures, you might have a difficult time adjusting. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have a hard time adjusting, because a lot of the food here in China is chewy. And we as Westerners on the other side, we like crunchy food.
Anything that has to do with crispy, crunchy.
That was an adjustment for me, but I'm a foodie at the end of the day. So I like the food here. And like I said, I've always loved Asian food. So like, I felt like I was in the freaking Holy Land for the food, you know what I'm saying? And also I like to cook. Whenever I have something at a restaurant, I'll take the taste home and try to recreate it. The food is so good. There are weird things, but this is a country that has been through many famines. Same way we eat chitlins, same way Jamaicans eat oxtail, okay? It's the same thing. You learn to do with what you have, and you make cuisine from the scraps. It's the same damn thing. I've tried some crazy now. I've had goose liver. It was a dessert. It was on a tiny little spoon with a flour. It was in like a jam, like a blackberry jam. It was very, very nice. I've also had like blood, like coagulated blood in like a little tofu looking square. Yeah. But back at home, me and my sister used to eat deer sausages. So, I don't know. If you're a vegetarian, you will be okay. You might not eat out that much, but you'll be fine. If you are a vegan, you will be okay. You might not eat out that much, but you'll be fine. All right, that's the end. Okay, cheers. If you have any more questions, I'll put them on a piece of paper and do another drawing soon. Stay healthy, stay blessed, and always remember, be brave.